Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Daily Ramble. I am your host, LucaTheJackal. Great to be back here once again. Welcome into everybody. Hope we're all doing well. Hope we're all having a fantastic June thus far. Hope we had a wonderful May. I'd like to start the video by firstly going, oops, I uploaded a Daily Ramble in May, and that was all I did. And even on the stream side, it was pretty tame as well. So I'd like to give a brief kind of hi. Sorry, I know I upload shit tons of videos all the time every month for no reason. And I did not do the self-regulated guideline that I told nobody about. So now I feel like I have to apologize for it, even though I really don't. I said I wanted to do more, quality over quantity, and I hope that's been the case. I hope people have been enjoying this batch of videos this year. Hope people have been enjoying the stuff that I've been able to throw on out there. But either way, I've got some big stuff for June. I've got a video that I've been spending the entire last 3 months working on. So I think it's going to be the greatest video of all time on my channel. Maybe, who knows? But I hope you all enjoy it. And we'll be getting that there. That should hopefully be up next week, but we'll see what happens. But either way, enough about false promises. Welcome in. I was going to talk about editing today because, I've been editing a lot on the side, and I thought, hey, this could be a good kind of segue to go, wow, I've been editing a lot. Hey, remember the time? So here's how I started editing, blah, blah. And then I was like, wait a minute, there's something a bit more important today, as you've probably already noticed, and that's the gays. So I was like, I gotta do a Pride-themed sort of video, right? I gotta do that at some point, which some people, I'm sure, are gonna be absolutely devastated that the Lucario PNG tuber who plays nothing but Nintendo games, they're gonna be so surprised that, wait a minute, this guy supports the LGBTQ? What? There's no freaking way. How could this have happened? So I'd like to apologize to the few people that are unsubscribing from this channel because I've turned woke, and if you think this video is gonna be bad, you are not ready for the next one. But either way, I figured I'd just kind of talk a bit today on and off about, Pride, because that's an important thing for a lot of people. It's kind of important for me. I'm slowly I'm not much of a big celebration kind of person, right? Even the most I'll have is for my birthday or Christmas, right? And that's mostly just I get presents and I'm like, all right, cool, that's crazy. And I don't really try to make, anything a super crazy special day. My birthday, I've been trying to, live it up to. The last year especially, I wanted to, live it up to as much as I could. And this year, I kind of want to really lean onto that. I want to do a bunch of shit in July, just to kind of lock the fuck and be like, hey, I can do content, by the way. So I've got plans. That'll be fun. But this year, Pride is hitting a little bit differently because, of a lot of things going on. And I thought, hey, why the fuck now? Let me talk about this bullshit real quick. Why the fuck don't I do that? So, firstly, what the fuck is Pride? You probably know what Pride is because you're watching a Lucario PNG tuber play Splunky 2 on his YouTube channel. You probably know what Pride is, but yeah, you celebrate LGBTQ history throughout, the month. We've got Pride parades, which I realistically should actually go to one of the Pride parade setups, whatever, because I think it'd be cool. I'd like to get some Pride stuff. I need to get, buy merch, I need to get more buy stuff with Lucario, which I've got a couple of those. Huge thank you to the artists who have drawn the most raw shit ever with LucaTheJackal. But Pride, at least now, is just kind of a big parade. Not really a big parade. It's a full-on celebration throughout the entire month for, LGBT history. But how it started was, I did a little history relooking because I'm a big fucking history geek. I like learning history shit, I'm a big fan. When I was in school, that was kind of the one thing I was doing, and then I was like, oh, well, I finally figured out the kind of thing I want to do in school. Maybe this college thing will actually work out. And then I realized both of my parents were history majors, and none of them did anything with their degrees, and one of them worked the same job for 25 years, which wasn't even close to history related. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna back up on that one. But history's always been a huge thing for me, so I've always been, like, extremely fascinated with it. It's always fun to learn, you know, history stuff one way or another. Always a lovely time with that. But yeah, I did a very brief history looking, and there's this bar called Stonewall, and back in what, the 1960 something, somewhere around that period. So, you know, not even barely even 60 years ago. Probably not even. It's probably a later 60 as well. But gay bars were kind of a thing, but not really. They were still illegal because homosexuality was illegal. Same-sex marriage wasn't even, like, made legalized until, like, I think 2002? I'd have to double check on that, but it's a lot more recent than you think. And a lot of people, especially in my generation, do not fully realize that what we have today is a lot more than what people were able to have back in the day by a pretty substantial amount. Because, like, what do we're like, we have same-sex marriage. It's really cool. Obviously, we still get a shit ton of people going against us, going, you can't do that because of God or something. And it's like, fuck off. But yeah, no, back it's surprisingly recent how it's incredibly recent how we how our history has come together, and we surprisingly do not have a lot of time that we've actually had same-sex marriage legalized. So, you know, back on topic a little bit, because, you know, I'm always on topic with the Daily Ramble. We had Stonewall, which was one of the many gay bars out and about. That you know, we would go to because, well, I see. We're all together. We're all part of this. That's how that works. We would go to it and hope for the best, but what would happen was that, you know, it's basically standard procedure where they're like, oh, homosexuality is illegal. We're gonna go out and arrest these motherfuckers for, you know, being gay. So they do that. And then Stonewall was a little bit different, where a ton of people actually came together and got together and were like, all right, hold the fuck up. We're not putting up with this shit. So there was a massive protest at the bar in particular, and they went along with that. And then the next year, late June, because again, obviously this happened in June, because, you know, if it didn't happen in June, it'd be kind of weird. Like, oh, we're gonna celebrate this one thing because we're gonna celebrate this one thing in the entirety of June because this one thing happened in December. No, what are you talking about? Yeah, this happened during June. And then I believe the year after, which I think was probably 1970. I might have my dates a little mixed up. I'm not very good with dates. Please forgive me. But the next year they were like, hey, we should, like, commemorate this because this was a pretty fucking big thing, and we need to, like, make sure that we're, like, known that we're here, and we're here to stay, and it's not gonna change anything. So they had a big protest parade sort of thing where a ton of people got together and they kind of celebrated and commemorated. And then after that, that just eventually became like a Pride Week, and then it became, you know, Pride Month. So then we got that whole month of the year. It was pretty sick. So that's kind of how Pride came to be. That's at least from the little history looking I did real quick. I gotta look into a little bit more. I had a brief understanding of what happened, but I gotta learn a little bit more because history is important. History is still extremely important, like, especially with the things going on nowadays. History does repeat itself an obscene amount, and people, like, it is kind of a classic saying, but it's people really don't realize that, yeah, history repeats itself a lot. And especially when people are willing to just kind of let things slide and just go under the bus, it will come back to bite you, and it is biting us a little bit now. But history is good to learn, and if you are LGBTQ, anything of the sort, I would highly advise, like, at least taking, like, 5-10 minutes out of your day, just looking up and going, hey, what the fuck was Stonewall? How did Pride come to be? And maybe if you're still interested in that sort of thing, what's the general, like, history towards, LGBT people? Because I want to look into that a bit more. I need to look into that a little bit more and be like, hey, what's the history? What are some common, what are some, like, big accomplishments, LGBT plus people have made, right? What are things that people have done throughout history that are very substantial, and then people are like, oh yeah, this big thing happened. We're not going to say anything about who did it, but it happened, and the person who did it doesn't matter to him. And it's like, okay, hold on, no, this was a gay motherfucker. We need to, like, go, hey, see, this person exists, and we're just here. We just want to be here, right? There's some obvious stuff that I don't know if I'm even allowed to say on YouTube, but it's like, come on, we're here to stay. We just want to hang out. We want to like people of the same gender. We want to just be a guy or a girl or what. Who cares? We live in a world of limitless possibility. You're gonna restrict us to just one thing? Come on, man. We've got a world of limitless possibility. We gotta be able to branch out and have a world of variety, because that's what we're here for. We've got so much to do. But anywho, that's your brief history lesson. For the moment, at least. Maybe I'll get back to the bigger theme in a little bit. But overall, yeah, in terms of me, because believe it or not, I'm bi. That's a thing that's been present for a long time. I don't know how long in particular I've known that I was bi. But it's an interesting, I guess it's an interesting enough story. But even so, yeah, so basically, I was focusing on my immense gameplay. I'm sorry, chat. Basically, again, I was raised very Christian, along with a lot of people. Not in the, not in the, like, utterly homophobic way. Don't worry. I wasn't, like, an absolute dog shit piece of shit. Like, I mean, I still was, but not, like, in the homophobic way. I was raised in, rural Michigan. Like, not a lot happens up here. I don't think people are necessarily narrow-minded in, like, a negative way, but there wasn't a lot that, really went about with these sort of things. So I just kind of understood, like, oh yeah, you love guy, love girl, that's just how that sort of thing works. You took the puberty segment in, like, 5th grade and was like, hey, by the way, this is what it's gonna happen when you grow up. You're gonna like girls, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. And I think my first, like, discovery of what LGBTQ was funnily enough, a Pokemon. I don't know how to describe it. There was a series that this one, like, artist was doing, with, like, a bunch of their OCs and stuff, and they had like animated episodes, and they were going through, like, a big plot line, I think. And had, like, a Sceptile and Mighty, and some people might know what the fuck I'm talking about, and they're gonna go, geez, and they're gonna go, seriously, Luca, what the fuck? And I remembered I was watching that video, and I was having a really tough time, because I'm watching the video, and I'm still a younger kid. Like, this is during middle school, because I don't fully understand a lot that's going on. I don't have, like, the full-on processing kind of thing going on. But I'm watching the video, and I can tell that, like, there's a substantial, like, love arc going between the two, because, they're holding hands, they're kissing, they're doing, things of the sort. Obviously, I'm not watching, sex as a fucking, 13-year-old. But they're like holding hands and, doing lovey-dovey stuff, and I'm just kind of watching. I'm just like, which one's the guy and which one's the girl? And I was having a really tough time figuring out which one was which. I was really like, which one is which? I'm not quite sure. Which one's the guy and which one's the girl? Is it this one? No, this one's got a deep... Oh, I think this one used, like, referred to them as a guy, and I was getting really confused. And that was my first, like, kind of awakening as to, hey, this is what a gay person is. And I didn't really process it at the time. And I don't really know what the process was after. I don't really know what happened afterwards in between for me to properly understand what gay people were. But I know eventually I just kind of slowly kind of flowed into like an understanding. Like there wasn't really a big awakening for me, right? There wasn't a big awakening or anything of the sort. Like, I think I just slowly sort of understood. Like, it just kind of slowly came to understanding. But, yeah, I never really had an aha kind of moment, right? Like, I never had any of that. It was always just kind of... I just kind of understood, right? Like, I was just kind of chill with it. And then eventually I went, huh. Maybe I am bi, because I didn't really think about it. I just eventually kind of learned the labels, and I was like, huh, what the heck is all this gay stuff going on? Oh, guys can like guys? Oh, okay, cool. And then I just kind of slowly realized that girls are really pretty, but damn, there are some good men out there. And I just kind of accepted that. I didn't really think too much about it, right? Like, there was never a big process with it. I just kind of, like, accepted it. Which, you know, I also am not super, like, vocal about it IRL, I guess. I'm pretty sure my mom knows. I think my grandma knows. I know I've had talks to my mom before. She can be a little forgetful, but God bless her soul. I don't know how many other people know. I'm pretty sure my cousins do. I don't know. It's on my fucking Discord profile picture and on my main Twitter page, so it's like, yeah... If people know me online, they know I'm bi. Like, but I don't think in terms of, like, you know, the regular, like, IRL people, like, you know, the family I know. Like, I don't think many of them are super aware. And it's fine, I guess. I'll ruin Thanksgiving one of these days. It'll be fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah. But no, it was weird, because I know a lot of people go through, like, a really big, like, self-discovery arc, you know? A lot of people, like, really, kind of have a long process thinking about it, and especially with, like, the environments that some people grow up in, right? Because a lot of people will have different environments where they are more able to be open about themselves, which I kind of was because I had an online space, but some people have, you know... I have a lot of friends who are, you know, LGBTQ and have unbelievably shitty parents who I know would probably kick them out of the house if that was the case. You know, I've got a trans friend in Texas. Like, it's not, yeah, it's it ain't good, man. It ain't good, man. I'm sorry for, like, I apologize to everybody who's unable to be able to live their true selves, because it's obviously not a fun situation, right? It's not a fun situation in the slightest, and I know a lot of people are wanting to be a lot more proud with who they are, and that matters a lot to a lot of people. It matters to me too. Just the labels are kind of nice. Which, again, speaking of labels, I'm bi. Realistically, I'm probably pan, but and a lot of people always kind of ask the question. A lot of people are always kind of curious if, like, okay, there's bi, there's pan, there's a bunch of other stuff. What the fuck is any of it? What's the difference of it all? And the answer is the difference is it's less of the difference and more so of just kind of the understanding, right? Because a lot of what LGBT stuff is, it's mostly labels, right? It's something you identify with to, you know, feel better about yourself, right? Like, as weird as some people might think about it, it is a little comparable to, like, you know, Christianity, religion, right? Because, like, you know, it's mostly like a thing. Like a lot of people like to just say, "Yeah, I'm Christian," you know, and it's like it's a big important thing for them, right? And that's kind of what LGBT stuff. It's like, yeah, this is an important thing for me, right? This means a lot to me, and I like being this, and just having that sort of like I'm this that's just a nice sort of label to have, right? And it kind of goes further with bisexuality, pansexuality, and the most distinct part of it is really just, hey, if I'm bi, I like guys and girls. If I'm pan, I like pretty much everything, and I don't really have a preference, because gender is a scam created by bathroom companies to sell more bathrooms, and that's just kind of the law. But at the end of the day, it is mostly just kind of like a label, because like I just like the bi stuff. I think the bi stuff is nice. It makes me feel happy going, oh yeah, bi, that's cool. I like the bi stuff. That stuff is very nice and comforting to me, just to go, yeah, I'm bi, and that's just a label I like to have. Right? That stuff's just a nice little label to have all around. So yeah, no. Where the fuck was I? I went on like 3 different rambles there, and I completely lost track of what I was generally doing. Yeah, no, it's just a lot about like, what do you want to be, Yeah, but yeah, I've been bi for a while. I don't know how long. I don't know when I like kind of accepted it, because again, I just kind of floated all together, right? It all just kind of flowed together, where I eventually just kind of was like, oh yeah, I'm bi, sure, whatever, man. And I just kind of went through with that. Which, granted, I've been in two gay relationships and not a single straight one yet, so I don't know. I say that I lean more on the straight side, but then I've also, like, leaned more on the gay side, and I might get in another gay relationship. It's like, what the fuck? What is any of this? What? So, gender is weird. But it's still always just more of a matter of, like, what do you want, And, like, you shouldn't... Like, I'm not going to force bisexuality on anybody, obviously. But you shouldn't live a life filled with... Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, because... a lot of people are afraid of, being out and about like this, right? Like, a lot of people are afraid, like, oh... I want to be able to live that full-on life. And obviously, I can't speak for a lot of people, because I'm probably God's favorite in, like, a degree. I'm definitely God's favorite one way or another. I don't know how, but I kind of am. But here we are. So I've been in a situation, and I've been surrounded by a lot of people where I've been able to do these sort of things a lot easier than others. And I know for a lot of other people, it is exponentially more difficult to be able to be themselves. And to those people, I'm sorry. I truly do hope that you'll be able to you'll be able to be, the person you want to be. I hope that sometime throughout your life you'll be able to get out of the situation you're in. You'll be able to live the life that you really want to live. Because I know, again, for a lot of people, it's like, there's this cute guy I want to be with, but I'm afraid that if I come out with this, my parents will kick me out. A bunch of people will, mock me, or I'll be cast aside. It's like, I'm sorry. And I know, and again, this is just me talking about America. There are a lot of other places out there that are even worse, where homosexuality isn't even, like, legalized. And, there are people who just get fucking killed for, a guy wanting to like a guy. And it's like, I'm tired, man. Like, I don't want to be, the online activist who goes like, oh, man, I want to save the world. Guys, please stop. Because, like, obviously that's not how it's going to come to be. But being silent about it isn't going to, solve the process either, right? Like, we're here. And we understand that there are other people out there who are like this. And that's how that all works, right? We're here. We've been here forever. You're not going to change anything about that. We've been here for basically forever. People are going to complain about things not being natural. It's like, okay, how do you get your food? Where do you live in? What is money? I don't think money's pretty natural, but that's my thing. Which, don't let those people put you down, right? Because there's a lot of, you know, homophobic people who have a lot of quote arguments in terms of, oh, you can't be gay or trans or whatever because of so and so, and it's like, okay, think about it for 5 seconds and then find another example in the real world where that thing is heavily allowed. It's a lot of hate. People just have these things because of a lot of hate, because people just have hate in their hearts, and it's you know, pretty sad. So just share more love to people, right? Obviously, love is not going to, you know, fix the world. We're all gonna have to step up at some point, and there's gonna be some big stuff probably going on throughout the next few years with a lot of things. But to those people, you know, around you, right? To those people around you that, like, you know, are, you know, LGBT or something of the other that, you know, they want to be a bit more open about. Unless it's like being a fucking Nazi, in which case go fuck yourself. If you're a Nazi, get the hell out of here. That's not something we're supporting, ever. But just check it on people. Make sure people know that they're loved and that they have people who are gonna support them for, you know, being themselves. Like, that's it's a hard thing for a lot of people. The situation you might be in might be a lot lighter than the situations that some other people are in, you know. So yeah, no, it's hard to say. Like, I'm an autistic fuck. Like, I don't I'm not good with these. I don't know if I'm good with these, you know, crazy motivational speeches or anything of the sort. I don't know if, like, if this is gonna move anybody, and I don't even know if I plan to, but at the end of the day, right, like, the goal is just, like, I just want people to know that, like, I'm part of this group. I'm here. I'm queer. I'm not ready to die. You ain't gonna stop me, that's for goddamn sure. Right? So, and, you know, if you're part of it, like, hey, this is your safe space. I will always be supporting, you know, my LGBT friends, anything of the sort. Or if you're just a member of the channel watching and you're just going, I hope this guy isn't gonna turn around and suddenly become one of those YouTube channels that's gonna start AI generating thumbnails and talking about how every single Disney movie is woke for some reason, even if it sells well or not. So, that's not the plan. I don't intend on going down that pipeline at all. If I ever say woke, it's entirely ironic, believe it or not. So, yeah, that's there for that. But yeah, no, I've got your support. If there are people in the comments that are being, you know, absolute obscene homophobic pieces of shit, I'll kill them. Don't worry, I got you. YouTube, that was a joke. I got one of my videos, my VODs taken down a while back. I'm not actually gonna kill anybody. And I'd like this video to actually... Oh, watch this video get taken down. Oh, God. Oh, God, if my hour-and-a-half video gets taken down because I make gay jokes, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. It's gonna be terrible. I'm gonna fucking cry and vomit. But anyways... yeah. No, thank you all for listening to the next Daily Ramble. I'm sorry that it was back-to-back Daily Rambles and we had nothing in May. I promise I got a massive video coming out this June. You guys are gonna absolutely love it. July, I want to do a bunch of shit as well on stream, too. So, yeah, make sure to check out my community tab. I've got my stream schedule always up there for the things I'm going to be doing throughout the month. But yeah, thank you all for watching once again. If you have any specific kind of runs you want me to do, if you have any specific topics you want me to do, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear some suggestions because I want to do this more, and it's so fun. So, we'll get about to that. But, either way, thank you all once again. Leave a like, subscribe. You guys know the drill. But yeah, have a fantastic day, everybody. I will see you about. Medial! Ah!